that's frosted like that, where it's white, it's black and white. This is kind of it.
It's so amazing. Like you never see coins like that. Like in my
No.
mind, I'm thinking, oh, that has to be a fake because of just how beautiful and perfect it is. But
Yeah.
man, this is just an old, nice coin.
Yeah. The first time my dad took me to a fun show in like 86, I was 14 years old, my first big coin show. And, you're seeing Stellas, you're seeing a few coins like this. And this stuff was a little bit more around back then. And they don't look real. It kind of changes your perspective. It's like seeing Bigfoot. It kind of changes your perspective on things. It's like, you're like, wow, that is shocking to see in hand. And it kind of like what you're saying, it looks fake. It looks like it's one of those Walmart chocolate candy coins, but it's the real deal. And what's exciting, I've been fortunate enough to, view hundreds of these and own dozens of them. So, they never get old. They never, ever get old, coins like this.
I am Spegtacular, the Silverstacular. I'm here with Seth Chandler from Witter Coins. Can you please tell my audience a little bit about you, Seth?
I really don't want to bore people, but my name is Seth Chandler. I have a little coin shop in San Francisco called Witter Coin. It's America's coin shop. I've been collecting coins since I was 4. Worked in a coin shop from the age of 13 to 18 years old. And I recently, I guess time has flown, I took over Witter Coin in 2016. And I have 3 kids and I live in San Francisco. I'm having a great time. I'm lucky I get to play with coins all day long.
It's a nice life, right? Getting to play with coins?
Oh, yeah. Big time, big time.
Question about being in California because of everything going on the last few years. Any challenges to having a coin shop in California?
Yes. And I would say they're kind of unrelated to recent issues, but it's very expensive here. And so when you open up a coin shop in a place like a New York or San Francisco, or perhaps even out in Miami, your barriers or your cost to entry is much higher than, for example, if I'm in Texas or Oklahoma. So that's what makes it challenging. My expenses are probably a lot more than the average. Salaries are higher, so you have to, it's a little bit more challenging. I think that let's say it that way, a lot more challenging.
Gotcha. Now to just go back a little bit, because I really do want to post this to YouTube. Is that okay to put this on my YouTube so people can see your store, see what you're about, see you?
Sure. Yeah, of course.
That'd be great, right? That's the whole point. I know that you're like a community member, right? You try to engage with the community. I see you go live on Instagram. You try to show people the hobby, the collection. And I appreciate that, of you being out there like that. What's in the future as far as you and your shop? And I know you have an online store. What's going on though in the future?
We have a lot of plans. I'm really focused on growth for our company. We've grown tremendously since 2016. We probably more than doubled in size just in the last year. I'm very happy, but it's also, some work. We got to build out our infrastructure. I'm very excited. Some of the products we're doing, online, like with Witter Coin University. I've always been somebody who's willing to teach any age of collector. That's why I do a lot of videos, on Instagram and YouTube. But, the big thing is a business, we're looking to grow. We're looking to hire great people and going to expand. I mean, who knows where it takes us past this shop, but we're having a good time. We're having a lot of fun with it. But
I tell you what, it's a good hobby and a good time for this thing to grow, isn't it? It's been booming, coins.
Oh yeah, it's been on fire. But everything goes through cycles. So I'm kind of in it for the long haul because things will go higher and they'll go lower. But it's a good time right now, definitely, without a doubt. I think anybody who's involved in any type of hobby, whether it's vintage cards or coins, they're like, wow, it's not always like this, folks. I'll tell you that.
And you've been collecting since you were 4, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. That's really awesome.
Started buying when I was like 10 years old, hardcore mowing lawns. I grew up in Jacksonville, Florida. You're based out of Florida, right?
Out of Florida, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm in the northern side, the South Georgia part of northern Florida, known as Jacksonville, and worked at a company called the Edgewood Coin Company. And when I was there for the 5 years, pretty much everything I know about business today, I learned in that coin shop, and tons of fun. Learn how to work with people, learn so much about coins, learn so much about collectors, but it's a good time.
So you were a student, you had a mentor being in the shop, and you learned from that.
Yep. And just making a lot of mistakes too.
Now you have it's called an academy. Is that correct? For kids that want to learn about numismatics, you bring them in and teach them about coins. Is that?
Yeah, we call it Witter Coin University. Hopefully we don't get like sued or in trouble because we call ourselves a university, but we're unaccredited. I don't know what type of paperwork you have to file, but hey, we just call it Witter Coin University. And the way it works is last year, it was around March of last year. I'm sitting around here at the shop. My kids are at home during COVID on their laptop. And I'm thinking, wow, I'd been up on Instagram for a little while. There's a lot of young numismatists who are following them. And I figured, hey, what's a great way to kind of reward all these kids? Because it's tough. It's tough. My oldest son, Alex, he's a sophomore in college. COVID hit when he was a senior in high school. That means no proms, no dances, no saying goodbye to your friends. It's tough. So if you're a coin collector, it's the same thing. There's no coin club meetings, no coin shows. And so, I thought of this idea, if I could raise some money and, invite, at the time, it was 15 kids to come out to San Francisco. We paid all their expenses. And I knew I could convince a couple of my coin buddies to kind of teach the classes. I know it would work. And so we launched it. I forgot when we launched it, May of last year. And we were hoping to get like 25 applicants. And I think we got like 50 applicants within a couple of days. So we instantly raised it to 25 students. And I think we ended up getting about 110 applicants for it. So it was very, very rewarding. One of the most fun, rewarding things I've ever done.
I actually spoke personally to some of your students that took that, and they were super excited. They were happy about the whole thing. I met a few of them at the fun show in Orlando, the most recent one.
Yeah,
and they had great things to say.
You remember which ones?
I do remember which ones. I don't want to like shout them out without their permission, but yes, I do remember which ones. We could talk about that privately.
Sure. I just call them little boogers. They're all little boogers. Like little puppies after a while. That was one of the most rewarding things watching from the side is, obviously it couldn't happen without the 6 instructors. I was just kind of in the background. I didn't really have that much to do with it, but they taught everything. So most of the kids, the little boogers, would intern with me here for 4 hours during the week. So everyone got an opportunity to intern here and see how a coin shop works. But I would say at the, when I'm there, they're all different ages, 13 to 21. I'm thinking that's a big age spread. But within a couple of days, they're all just kind of gelling together. They're rolling around like little puppies. They're all communicating. Doesn't matter, 13, 21. They all really got along. And that was just so much fun to see. By the end of the week, it was amazing. That's why we tacked on an extra day, because the first day after they arrived, we had an all-day field trip, to a couple tour buses showing everybody San Francisco. It's a great city. We've tacked on an extra day because, at the end of the week, everyone was gelling so well. They didn't want to go home the next day. So now we're tacking on an extra day where we could have another all-day field trip. So if you got any ideas, love to hear them.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's an awesome thing to see coins bringing people together, educating the youth. One day those are going to be, coin dealers, right? They're going to have their own coin shops probably. It's fascinating. Fascinating. And good job with all that.
Thanks. Listen, I had very little to do with it. We raised money from some very important people. Everyone chipped in. People donated $1. People donated more than $1. It's all about those instructors and the team here who kind of put it together. I was just showed up.
Now you have a website, and I also want to mention that with your permission, I'll put down information in the description of my video so that people can check your website out, check your storefront out, whatever they want to do, again, with your permission. But I want to talk about your website. You have some really nice high-end coins on that website.
Thank you.
Do you have any that you can show me today? Because I don't know if you know this, Seth, but I love coins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're into it. You're into it. I love what you do. It's awesome. You're sitting there thanking me. I need to thank you. I love people like you that you give. That's my favorite kind of numismatist, a numismatist that can give and teach, because we all started out in our own way, whether an uncle gave us a Buffalo nickel as a kid, or, you had a mentor at a coin shop, and, you're kind of that guy. You're teaching so many people, man. It's awesome. But
I'm not an expert, Seth, by any means, but I talk to some really brilliant people that do this, like you, like, other guys that participate with my channel. And I know a little bit about YouTube, and I can spread the information that way. And that's just what I try to do,
Good. It's good. We can all give in our own ways, man. And you do it really well in your way. That's what's important.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. And that's why you're here today, is because I think you can give.
Okay. So you're at America's Coin Shop. All right. Of course we have great coins. So, all right, I got a couple things out. Nothing too fancy, okay? Nothing too fancy. All right. Let's start with a coin that was sold just a couple blocks from here. It is a Panama Pacific $50 gold coin.
Oh, wow.
in 1915 at the San Francisco Mint.
How
And,
close can you get that?
Here, let me get a little bit closer. How's that?
That's like one of my dream coins right there.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. Me too. It's one of my favorites. They made a 5-coin set and they made two $50 coins. They made this the octagonal, then a $50 round. Believe it or not, they made I think 600 of them, but then they had to melt half of them because they couldn't sell. They were for sale for like $1 over their face value, but this is back in 1915. And that was a lot of money back then. So unfortunately, they had to melt a lot. And then gold being such a soft metal and such a huge, big, broad design, you get them to survive in this kind of condition, like 64 and better is really tough. So that's why, once you get in that 65 and better condition, they go for a lot of money. But yeah,
Sure.
one of my favorite coins, just amazing, the design here.
That coin really kind of got famous by Pawn Stars. It was on an episode of that where they were searching for this coin at a fun show, did find it, but people started really, really enjoying that coin because of a famous, guy showing that on his show.
Sometimes that's all it takes, right? That gets momentum. It's like the 1913 vehicles. There's 5 known. It gathered momentum. It was on the Hawaii 5-0 TV show. There's been a movie about the Brazier de Bloom being stolen. There's definitely coins, and it gets exposure. It's just good for the hobby. I mean, anytime you can get mainstream visuals of coins, it's really good for a hobby. So that's awesome. All right. What do you want to see next? Silver or gold?
Oh man, it's hard for me to choose. I like both. Hit me with a little silver now. We've seen some gold. Hit me with some silver.
All right, here I'll show you something kind of cool. Here is an 1880 proof Morgan dollar. It's proof 68 plus.
68. Wow.
Yeah. Well, proof 68 plus. It's the finest graded non-cameo Morgan dollar. It's only a pop 1 among all the dates, so it's really cool. It's really nice.
And the highest grade Morgan dollar period is 69. Is that right?
Yeah, there's a couple of 69s out there for sure. Yeah.
And this is 68 plus.
68 plus, yeah.
That's hot, man.
You want me to show you something better than a 68 plus proof Morgan?
What the heck is better than that?
A 68 plus cameo. There you go.
Oh man.
See the glass-like texture of this? This is probably a top 5 known proof Morgan dollar. It's stunning toning to it. It's framed.
That
really
rainbow
well.
toning is so beautiful.
It's like a glass like texture. All coins are not the same, even though they may be the same. They're all kind of different in their own way. Some come out a little bit better from the press, and this is one of those coins.
Seth, I dare ask, what kind of price tag are we talking about on that one?
On this one, I think on paper, this coin's worth about 125,000, but I think you would get a fanatical collector that probably push it up to closer to $200,000. Price guides are very difficult. Like, coins are really commodities, most really rare coins. And so you pretty much have a range. And so anything can happen. So, this is a coin that people kind of throw away the price guides for, and they just kind of keep pushing it because it's unique. It's very tough to find a proof Morgan like that.
Well, that's an auction piece. That's the one you put on the auction and you just see how somebody, loves that toning on it and just how crazy they want to get with it.
No, that's a Witter Coin piece, not an auction piece. It's
Very nice.
Coin shop, right? Yeah. Here, I'll show you one more proof Morgan. One more. It's a little bit more white. It's been conserved, and it's a deep cameo, 1893, proof 66 plus. Yeah,
that's
nice.
So beautiful. It looks almost like a modern coin just by how perfect it is.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. Really nice. Very deep mirrors. And I guess you get a sense for what's not cameo. The other one was slightly cameo, then this one's a deep cameo. And I think all your viewers will be able to see that too as well. Got a lot of pop to it, which is great. Kind of smacks you in the face when you look at it.
These are amazing coins.
All right, let's go back to a little bit of gold, right? Here you go. How about a gold bar? This is I think it's 7 ounce. Yeah, 7 ounce gold bar. One of the smallest ones off the SS Central America shipwreck.
That's a huge slab.
Yeah. Justin and Hunter is the maker for this. This was made in Marysville, California, right during the gold rush. This was like gold that was just immediately came out of the ground from the gold rush and shipped to a little facility. And, I guess somewhat in the heart of gold country, then converted into a bar. Some of these bars would get quite large, several hundred ounces. So believe it or not, smaller ones like this are kind of nifty and cute, but they're also highly collectible because they're rare, this small. Usually they're like monstrous like this.
Right on.
Cool. How about this? Since we're on the gold rush, let's do this. This is a $50 slug. This is made by the U.S. Assay Office in 1852. This is one of my favorite kind of coins.
I do enjoy that. I saw one of those at the fun show, and the price tag was about $30,000, but not nearly the condition that you have here.
Yeah, this is a really nice one. I mean, they get better than this, but this is like a a very high-end value grade before it gets crazy, like well into six figures. These type of gold coins, these have the gold rush all over them. I mean, this is very significant. I mean, this is really the foundation of San Francisco as coins.
There's
like
so much history. Yeah, absolutely.
The gold fields right up here to San Francisco converted. Even though it says the U.S. Assay Office, there was a gentleman by the name of Augustus Humbert who was appointed by an act of Congress to be the chief U.S. assayer. And then after he resigned from that, he started his own company, the U.S. Assay Office, and that's made by him and his company. So it's cool. Very cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right, you want to switch gears and go early?
Sure. Why not?
Okay, cool.
What's interesting too is I have my humble little collection here. It's just some XFs and stuff, and maybe some AUs. But this is what I can kind of afford right now. This kind of stuff. But it's awesome to see the really high end stuff, the stuff that dreams are made out of that you have there. I love it. I love seeing that.
Well, I pinch myself every day. We're really lucky to handle some of these coins and be able to collect them. But listen, there's coin collectors of all levels. And, sometimes I'll do a coin of the day on our Instagram account, and it's a $1 coin. Like you could ask the guys around here. I get excited about a coin when it's really nice for what it is. And it could be a $2 coin. It could be that one, really just kind of a rainbow tone wheat cent that on paper is worth $1, but it's really spectacular. You see 1 out of 500 look like that. I get excited by weird stuff like that. That's where my wife makes fun of me and stuff, but it's cool. So, it really doesn't have that much to do with money, because if you're a picky and you develop an eye over time, and it takes a while, but if you specialize in a certain series, let's say you like Morgan dollars, it doesn't take a lot of money to acquire a lot of nice Morgan dollars, because you just pick out really, really nice examples for what they are. And that's the whole trick, really. All right, let's go to early gold. Early gold's one of my favorite. Here's an 1804 $5 gold coin. It's in a PCGS old green holder, but it's got great luster, got great little pop to the coin. But the first $5 gold coin was really the first official U.S. gold coin. It was made in 1795, and they made that particular variety until 1807. And this is an 1804 dated one, so it's pretty cool, pretty early.
I got to grab one of those at some point. I got to get one because I got trying to do this typeset, Seth. I got to try to one day.
Yeah, but that's cool. This is a cool coin. Here. Let's see what else we got here. Do you like proof gold?
Absolutely.
Okay, sure. Here you go. Here's a proof 20 lib. It's an 1892. People are going to love this. Oh, there you go. There's your proof gold. All right. I like that. Here. This all right. Yeah. I thought we'll show you. I was going to show you my coins and you show me yours. Is that how you want to do it or what?
Hey, whatever you want to do. I like seeing yours because I see mine all the time.
Okay, so we'll just bail them out. Then I want you to show me your favorites in your group too.
Oh, sure.
This is an 1892 proof $20 Liberty. This is kind of the top of the food chain in terms of eye appeal. A $20 Liberty has presence, but a gem proof deep cameo that's frosted like that, where it's white, it's black and white. This is it.
It's so amazing. Like you never see coins like that. Like in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, that has to be a fake because of just how beautiful and perfect it is. But man, this is just an old, nice coin.
Yeah, the first time my dad took me to a fun show in like 86, I was 14 years old, my first big coin show. And, you're seeing Stellas, you're seeing a few coins like this. And this stuff was a little bit more around back then, and they don't look real. It kind of changes your perspective. It's like seeing Bigfoot. It kind of changes your perspective on things. It's like, you're like, wow, that is shocking to see in hand. And it kind of like what you're seeing, it looks fake. It looks like it's one of those Walmart chocolate candy coins, but it's the real deal. And what's exciting, I've been fortunate enough to, view hundreds of these and own dozens of them. So, they never get old. They never, ever get old, coins like this. So it's kind of what you shoot for.
All these coins they're also available on your website right now, right?
No, pretty much almost all these are not for sale.
Okay.
Yep. They're, either coins of mine or coins of friends of mine, or, maybe they're going to grading, but yeah, I would even say in general, 80% of our coins don't hit our website. So
you're a collector.
Yeah. And plus, we keep things kind of quiet too, so yeah, we just kind of under the radar, even though as big a mouth as I have, it's still kind of quiet. Here's a really high grade $10 proof 10. It's a proof 67 cameo.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it's really nice, really stunning. Not quite a deep cameo, not quite as deep as the proof 20, the contrast, but close. Yeah.
I have my eyeballs right against the screen right now.
Yeah, right. It's pretty cool. This stuff never gets old, I'll tell you that. I'm glad you're enjoying it, and I think your viewers are going to get something out of it too. All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's switch gears just a tad. All right, and we'll go to how about a saint? We were talking about saints earlier.
Love Saint Gaudens.
Okay, so this is an MS67 plus Saint. Oh, there you go. Gotcha. Okay, let's see. Here's a 1924.
Not
Okay.
listen, it's not 67 now. It's just a
Yeah.
humble 64.
Oh, that's
But a
cool. I
common
like it.
date.
It's got great luster. Got good color to it too. I like
Just
it.
my humble little collection here.
Yeah. Hey, it's a collection. That's all that
Now
matters.
show me a wow piece.
Okay, this is MS67 plus. These are probably like 24 MS67 plus Saints among all dates of the with motto type. So yeah, this is a pretty significant coin. Many
Awesome.
layers of demand on this type of coin. Type collectors, people that want trophy coins or people that are building a set. So yeah, really cool.
Wonderful.
I love 67 plus Saints. They're pretty special. All right.
It's like, in my opinion, Saints and Walking Liberty half dollars, the two most beautiful coins in existence. It's a toss up. I can't quite decide which one I love the most, but most beautiful coins.
Yeah, and Stay Liberty quarters too. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah.
20th century silver is really nice. Mercury dimes. But yeah, I agree with you. While we're at high getting grades, this is a coin that's on the cover of the PCGS Rare Coin Market Report. It's the finest known $3 gold coin. And what makes this special? Not only is the grade, it's MS68 plus. It is just lights out, unbelievably well made, very reflective, very frosty, the devices and the toning. It's just got the hues of like purple and like a little bit of rainbow coloration, red, brassy yellow, lemon. This coin is so rare to survive like this. It's insane.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
And it's not the most common date. It's not like an 1870, it's 1863. So it's a cool Civil War year. They only made 5,000. So it's like this triple combination, triple storm that just happened that somehow this coin survived. I've always said how these coins survive. I really don't think it's people that were collectors that took care of it because, this thing survived generations and gold is so soft and it's so susceptible to the environment or physically touching things. It's kind of people who didn't care because like, oh, this is granddad's really prized coin. A lot of people would clean it or polish it up or write his initials on it. That's what people did when they really cared about their coins. But I think this is something that was just thrown in the back of a drawer and somehow it just survived. So very
could have got lost, could have got handed down. And like you said, you got kids that don't care about coins. They have no interest whatsoever. And so they're just like, they bring it to somebody going like, hey, this was grandpaps. Like, is this worth anything? And then you're like, oh yeah, $100,000.
Yeah, that's true. 400, but yeah. Let's see here. Here, let's go to, since we're at high grades, here's a $5 Liberty, right? Probably one of the most common gold coins around. This is one of the finest known, probably the third or fourth. This is an MS68 plus $5 Liberty. And this coin kind of shares the same characteristics, excuse me, I can't pronounce the word, as the three. It's got the same coloration. It's kind of rosy and velvety and it's spectacular. It's still shocking coins like this can survive. So you got to think it's like there's PCGS, I think, is graded 2 MS69s among dates. And this is the only MS68 among all the dates. So it's really like the third finest one. And I'm sure they've graded like at least 500,000, 5 libs. So it really puts this in the perspective.
Do you think these grading companies are just holding on to that 70? Like, I think that maybe one day a 70 will exist.
Yeah. Well, grading companies don't own coins. So it would have to be some exotic collector that had it on the side, but there's a lot of incentive to get that coin in a holder. So
I don't mean like they're holding it like physically, but they're just like holding on to that number. Like they don't want to be the person that puts out the 70. I don't know. It's weird that it doesn't happen.
Yeah, well, the 70 on vintage coins really doesn't exist because it's easy to faults. Yeah, even with modern coins, I mean, you got to really rip out a microscope, and you remember grading is not, it's not a science. It's more of an art. There's a lot of nuances to it. So it's from a technical perspective, vintage coins really don't come 70. I mean, I really haven't seen anything close. I mean, I've seen some nice 69s, but to the naked eye, you'll see a little mark or two. But overall, they're not like modern coins. They're much, much different. And if you see how soft gold is, it's just something's gonna happen to it over time, unless you just like wrap it in tissue, you catch it off the dies as it's made. But even then, it's still susceptible to the, with the environment, whatever environment's in, the humidity, there could be smoke in the environment or chemicals in the house or whatever it may be. So coins react to things, especially copper. Here, what else? Well, we were just on like early gold there. I got one more kind of interesting piece, a little different variety. 1811 $5 gold MS64 plus. It's pretty cool. It's the variety after this one. It's more called the turban head. There you go. That's a Drake bust turban head.
I love it.
Yeah, it's cool. And then what else we got here? Okay, so here so I don't know if you know, but we bought the 1933 Saint out of the auction for $18 million.
You bought it.
Yeah, here it is.
Just a drop in the bucket.
Here it is. And then we got to, forget PCGS when it comes to grading that. I have a certificate from the National Collectors Mint. It was way more valid than a PCGS certification. So it's pretty cool. But see, it's even been signed by the guy. So it's definitely legit. So $18 million.
I don't think I've ever seen an $18 million coin.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right. Okay. So let's go to world coins. Okay. So
Love it.
I really haven't been a huge collector of world coins personally, but God, they're so cool. They really are. So we've gotten a lot more into it. And just as a business, we've gotten a lot more into it. But I thought I'd share with you a couple of pieces here. Here is a Russian ruble from 1893. So it's a rare type, but what makes this one especially nice is it's got really exotic coloration. I don't know if that's popping up right away, but yeah.
The camera's a little wonky, but I think the people that are watching can get the idea of how special some of these coins are.
Yeah, there you go. That's nice.
Now with the current conflict, the ruble's worth a little bit less, so we're getting a little bit less on these.
Yeah. Respectfully to all, unfortunately, to all the people in Kiev, it's really sad what's going on there, but
it's awful.
Yeah, so I think again, I don't want to say a side effect. It's number 10,000 on the list of what's important, but sure, I imagine the Russian coin market's going to go down because it's removed a bunch of buyers. But again, that's completely secondary. It's completely 10,000-ary, but yeah,
sure.
But it's a really pretty coin, very pretty coin. So I think I'm just going to show this one as a set. So this is a Great Britain proof set from 1893, including the gold. So this is pretty special because the eye appeal and the condition is just spectacular. And I'll bring out some of the coins. So it's a what is it? It's a 5, 6, it's a 10 coin set, which is really cool. It made one of each denomination. So the whole year, and the condition is just phenomenal. Like for example, the crown is a proof 67 decam. I mean, look at the coloration. Yeah, it's really nice, isn't it? It's cool.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. And then the 5 pounds, this is the beast of the coin. It's gold, proof 65 plus decameo. And then like here's the sovereign. We've all heard of Great Britain sovereigns. Well, here's a proof 68 decam. Yeah, it's cool.
It's just fire every single time you can bring a new coin up. I love this.
Yeah, it's fun. Hey, I don't know if you've ever, I didn't go to the fun show this past year, but every major show, almost every show we do, we always have a case for exhibit coins that are not for sale, because quite frankly, people need to see this stuff, because it really made an impact on me when I was young, going to the fun show and seeing a proof 20 lib or seeing a pan pack octagonal versus buried in a safe deposit box. I mean, this is America. Owners have the right to do whatever they want, but I'm a big believer in kind of just having exhibits, set up at coin shows on a lot of great coins, because it's just, people just need to see them. That's how you learn. That's how you get better. And it motivates you too. It's like, I want to work harder and buy some of this stuff. So yeah, I'm always a big fan of sharing stuff, without a doubt.
Seth, I have a sad story. Some years back, I met a collector, old timer, and he said he had the entire Morgan dollar set. And I said, man, I would love if you could let me film that. And he was very uneasy about it. Of course, privacy is a big thing in what we do. And he goes, yeah, I really don't want to. I just want to keep it in the safe and just keep quiet about it. And it was heartbreaking because people could really benefit to see this thing and to see what an alternate collection would look like, but that set, I'm sad to say, is probably going to die with this gentleman, and nobody's ever going to know about it until whoever gets that collection when he passes on spreads that out between who knows how many people. Yeah,
it's too bad. It's one thing, seeing, kind of the cornerstone to what we do here, especially with our local advertising and commercials, is we give free, honest, complimentary appraisals on what your valuable items are worth, and it's predominantly coins. And you see it on people's faces, whether they sell it to us or not, but you sense, this relief, they figured it out, because there's a lot of pressure. Somebody inherits coins and they're fighting with their brothers and sisters. They don't know where to go. There's not, some coin shops, let's face it, they're not exactly super cooperative, and I'm being respectful to coin shops, working with a lot of people, the public. And so we solve a big need, giving an honest opinion about an accurate opinion about what something is worth is a big deal. And I've always told collectors that if your kids aren't into it, get rid of it, make plans. Seriously, because a lot of this stuff could end up like in pawn shops, or it could be taken to the bank. I've heard horror stories, So, it was a journey. We're all collectors. We're all on this very long journey. I say coin collecting is the long game. You're not going to assemble a great collection of coins in a year or two. It takes time, and you have to plan. And part of that is also planning an exit. And I work with a few higher end collectors, and I kind of have these rules or these parameters before we engage in discussions about building a collection. And one of them is I always want the opportunity to buy the coins back, because I work very hard to find these, and I want other collectors to be able to share in it too as well. So if you get tired of it, you move on, whatever. Let's try to, I'd like to be able to have the opportunity to buy it back. And another thing is, when I build collections, I ask their permission if I could exhibit it one day. It may not be tomorrow, it may not be next year, it could be in 5 years, but it's something that's insured, and it's anonymous on their part. But we work hard to build these great collections and these really rare coins that you never see before. I think it's kind of our fiduciary responsibility to share that with other people. And it's part of the education process. As a collector, let's say I've been collecting for 5 years. If you see stuff like this and you hear the journey that the collector took to acquire these, the mistakes they made, and the pain and the victories, it's going to make you a better collector. And that's why, it's all about getting everybody together. It's like doing stuff like this, hopefully people get something out of this. And, I have fun watching your videos and stuff. So it's just, it's all about sharing. It's a great hobby, and it's about the people too. I mean, you meet some wonderful people. Some people I wish I didn't have met, but overall, I'm pretty happy with the people I've met.
That's amazing. Yeah, it was one of my goals when I first started this channel, because I went to many coin shops, many pawn shops, many flea markets, and there was a variety of dealers. Some dealers you kind of are shocked, like, and this is not to say bad things about every dealer, but why are they a dealer? Because they're just not people, oriented. They can't speak. They almost don't want to do business with you. Your money's almost not good there. And I love promoting the businesses that want to be, good businesses for our community. And that's why I really wanted you to get on here, because I see that you do these lives. You don't make any money on that. You just do a live show to sit there and flash a coin for people and show them and educate them a little bit. It's just the education that you're sharing. I love it. And we need more of that, Seth. We need a lot more.
What's interesting is I started our Instagram account, I don't know, it feels like 3 years ago, as a way to memorialize great coins as they came in over the counter. Because I feel I'm Indiana Jones. Every day is like something new, right? And it's so cool to see like a really rare Delaware gold coin come in raw over the counter. So I wanted a way to document it, like as it came in, like in the paper tissue. And then I was like, okay, let me just post it up on Instagram. So if you see some of our earlier posts, it's just pictures of cool stuff we handled. And then, during COVID, I'm like, I just turned the camera around, hit record, started running my mouth. And it was a lot of fun. And then right away, it's like my mom pointed out, she's like, this kid's watching, so don't cuss. So I stopped cussing. And, a little word will slip out, try to edit that out. But, and then you start to hear the feedback, and it's like, wow. So I feel like I have a responsibility, because I have this knowledge and I have these experiences with, the shop and all the coins we handle, that if I could just take a little bit of time out of my day and share that information with other collectors, it's just going to be much better for everyone. But then the slant started kicking in toward young numismatists. I realized, wow, there's like hundreds of young numismatists that pay attention. And so that's why you'll see a lot of the stuff we do in videos is like tailored toward young numismatists, because, I had a mentor as young, and I feel like mentorships, they're not as prevalent as they were in the past. And I think that's important, especially with coins. And there's thousands of kids out there that are just dying for information. So in one hand, it's like, you bring it the business side, like I don't make money. It's more about, I feel a responsibility to it, because I see so many people are getting something out of it. Like when I go to a coin show, I'll probably have at least 50 people stop me, whether it's they want an autograph or a picture or they ask questions. But I always ask, what type of videos do you like? I'm always curious to feedback. And it's always, everybody kind of gets their own thing out of it, whether it's behind the scenes of the shop or CAC reveals or big shot coins or just whatever it is. People are getting something out of it. And that's what makes me feel really good. And it makes it easy. And, it's technology too. I mean, you just pick up your iPhone and you record a video for 3 months and hit send. I mean, come on, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
You do a beautiful job at editing. You do it outstanding. And that's why I greatly admire your work, because I realize the value of editing, like working with PCGS and Slab Lab. It takes a lot of work to edit like how you are. But, I just kind of, I just don't have the time. So I just kind of choose, hey, let me just get it out real quick in 3 minutes or 4 minutes and let it rip. So, but yeah, it's very rewarding.
It's a second job. It's a second job for sure.
I like that old coin dealer guy you have,
the coin guy.
Yeah, the coin guy. Yeah, he's pretty funny. His accent and everything. Is he like he's like your main local coin shop guy?
He's one of them. Yeah, I actually went to him today. I'll tell him. He said, "How's it going?"
Yeah, of
He,
course. What's
he's going to
up?
want to see some of these coins that you have. That you showed me today. He's a collector too. He's been a collector since he was a kid, and he's going to
Yeah.
be head over heels over these coins.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of
You
fun
mentioned
stuff.
technology, Seth, and could you imagine if some of the old timers in this hobby had the kind of technology we have today, where we can share this information, we can show these coins. You can sit there at your house on the internet looking at these dream coins and stuff like that. Like years back, there'd be probably coin shops in every corner. Just based on that being able to be facilitated like that. But unfortunately, they didn't have Instagram. They could see these beautiful coins. They didn't have that stuff. They had a book every now and then, that they could look at, like a red book or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I'm a huge
fascinating.
fan of coin shops.
Sky's the limit.
I love coin shops. I love coin shops. I really do. Like I'm gonna do a road trip pretty soon. I'm gonna hit like 5 coin shops a day and just record it. I've done a couple of coin shop reviews. You saw Ben last week in Arizona. That was a lot of fun. I want to do more of that. I'm working with PCGS and Slab Lab to say, hey, I want to start this. I want to do this. Let's go visit some coin shops, because people love the behind the scenes of coin shops, and they're all unique. They're all different in their own way. A grumpy old man in the back to like super friendly people. It's just all different. And then you get characters in there, the local customers. I think they're a sacred thing. And I don't want to say like a church, it's different, but they're all unique and they have their own personality. And there's thousands and thousands of them, and they're kind of unknown to most people, and when I go to a coin shop, I have fun. I just, start mixing it up. I like to buy coins. I buy a lot of coins real quick. That's the key to going into the coin shop, is buying a lot of coins really quick. But it's just, they're just fun. They're unique. Each one is different. They're never the same. And it's so much fun. Like you and I love coins, it's just, imagine if for you to go in like 50 coin shops in a matter of a few months, that's a fun thing. It's cool. You never know what you're going to see. You never know what you're going to get. You never know what kind of people they are. And everyone's pretty receptive too. It's cool stuff.
It's great. Definitely do that. Record it. Promote the hobby. We'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
Seth, before I let you go, we've seen these high-end coins from you. Truly awesome. Give people that look at these coins and are never going to be able to afford them some advice on coins that are affordable, beautiful, and just spectacular. Like what could people get into?
I would say go with what you see, what you like, where your heart is gravitating toward. You got to like a coin. Don't let somebody talk you into a different type of coin. Always be open-minded. One of the funnest things I like to do is I like to talk to other collectors and see what they're passionate about. I really get excited over their passion, even though I may not give a crap about early large cents. But when you get a collector that's talking to me about their early large cent collection and their hunt, I really get into it. It's a lot of fun to hear other collectors talk about their coins. So always be open-minded. But like specific examples, I'd spread it around a little bit. Coin collecting is really one of two things. You can buy like one of each, which is known as a typeset, or a few different coins here, a few different coins here, spread it around. Or you could build a complete series of something like Morgan Dollars or Silver Eagles by date and mint mark. For a newer collector, I would recommend maybe doing both. Pick a series that you really gravitate towards and try to do a complete set of that in grades that you can afford. You want to try to stretch and get the most value for your money, particularly a grade before it like doubles and triples the next grade up. And then be open-minded. Buy just like random coins. Like, if you want an old $20 Liberty from the 1860s, go for it. You want a early large cent for the 1700s, go for it. And then after a while, what will happen is, you have 20 or 30 different types of coins, and you'll start gravitating toward a series or two. Then you'll start acquiring more of those. But you got to get out there and just kind of test the waters a little bit. I think that's really important. You've given definitely some good advice in some of your videos about collecting, for sure.
Thank you. You mentioned being open-minded. I'm guilty of having a negative approach when somebody came at me years back saying like, hey, you ever think about the commemorative half dollars? And I'm like, nah, it's too much for me. I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
Seth, I'm heavily addicted right now to commemorative half dollars. I'm in. And I wish I had gotten in years back when it was recommended to me. I should have been more open-minded about the thing, but I'm in there now. I'm a little bit late, but
that's cool. Moderns are cool. I think you get a lot of grading, get PCGS and NGC, they certify, they have really fascinating labels, both of them. And, there's a lot of Proof 70, MS7, a lot of really interesting designs for the modern stuff. I'm fascinated by them. The comic book characters, That's also a good way to start with modern. And mine's a little bit different though. Just be careful about, maybe a proof 69 is still okay instead of going for the big bucks for a proof 70, because there's a very little difference. As you collect a little bit more and you have a little bit more seasoning, you'll be able to tell the difference for the two. So if you really can't tell the difference, there's no reason spending 2 or 3 times as much money. It's like, I remember you did a video with that proof 70 coin had a little speck on it or something.
I have some 69s right here with some copper spots.
Yeah, there's always going to be like little anomalies like that. A lot of these coins were made with a little bit of copper in it, but like that coin, or like, I remember that PCGS coin, you could just send it back and they could remove it. I was looking at that video the other day. Somebody pointed out to me, and it looked like it could have been maybe a little piece of velvet from the box or something like that. But
the 21 piece dollar.
Yeah,
yes.
You could always just send that back to them, because they're grading so many coins, like thousands. I mean, they're grading a million coins a month, if not more. And so there's always going to be this slight element of like less than 1% where there's going to be some mistakes. So when you call a coin MS70 and you see like a little something there, just send it back to them, and they'll be able to fix it. And I think that's for both grading services as well. It's irritating.
I think that they're willing to fix it. I think that they have reached out and said, hey, we can make that right.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. But it's just one of those things that, if you ever, as any collector, there's always going to be a dead end road where you're confused or something's not right. Always, that's where it's good to have a good relationship with like your local dealer or coin shop, or watch your videos, because you'll get ideas. And hey, I'm a little confused by this. This is 70. This is this. Again, like coin grading isn't really it's science, a little bit of an art. And sometimes some things slip through the cracks and stuff. Oh yeah, part of that video was funny, was the packaging of the coins. Make sure like everyone ships it like tight. That's super important. It's one of the first mistakes I always did, because when we get packages, when people submit coins like NGC or PCGS, make sure they're very crisp and they're perfectly packaged. Because if they're not, they look tampered with, and like we refuse them right away. That's just because it's like an insurance thing. So just that would be a good video for like me or you to do, or something like that, to teach people, that are collecting moderns or just submitting coins to either the grading services, to really pack them like really nice and tight, and not like recycle stuff. Because that'll slow things down. Because right now both services are crazy busy. They probably have.
I think they're like 3 months behind on NGC. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's like as a bit. Here's the thing: when you run like a machine, like a grading service, you're handling so much product, and you have this system. So when there's an anomaly, it kind of really slows things down a little bit. And when you have as much volume as you can, like it's doubled or tripled, I'm sure, none of them can like compromise the quality of the grading, because that's what sets them apart. And that's what sets PCGS apart. So like when you look at the coins that I have, they're all PCGS graded because they're typically very accurate. I believe in them. And so when you have all these submissions coming in, you either have to extend the grading time or like hire not as qualified people, and then you get inferior product. So that's where it just kind of stinks. And I think that's where, a lot of collectors need to understand too as well. It's, all of it's not just like hitting a buy it now button when you submit coins for grading. Sometimes it takes a while because of the environment, and it's also a unique business too, because they kind of monetize your lottery ticket, right? Because they, you're buying a coin for the min, or you're buying it here and you're trying to get a 70, you get a 70, you 5 extra money or something. So, it's a patience. That's why I want to stress to everybody, don't ever get irritated with little subtle things. That's a part of coins. That's where you talk to your collector friends, and it's always the long game. It's the bigger picture. And that's what makes it fun. Always think long-term with coins. Very important.
I think this hobby is booming now more than ever, Seth. And, that might be part of why they're kind of going a little slower, PCGS and GC, mixed in, of course, with the, need to turn over some employees here and there. But this is a fire hobby right now. More people, I think, than ever are getting into it. And social media, the internet is making it just so easy to be a collector now.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's great. I mean, the hobby's busy, and then everyone submits, and we all want our coins back right away. We're like a super big submitters, but I don't know. We submit 500 to 1,000 vintage coins a month, so we're always waiting. But it just is what it is. I would love to get them back sooner, but there's increased fees to go with that, and some of the coins just aren't worth it. But you're right; it's just a much bigger hobby, and we're seeing like the ramifications of that too. It's like coins are more expensive, that's part of the problem, and there's a lot less available nice coins. Could get snapped up really quickly. So
we're humans living in a technologically advanced civilization. We want things 2-day shipping. Come on,
Yes.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah, exactly. And with coins, it's not really like that. It's a little more different. That's why we have coin shops. That's why one of the things we teach at Witter Coin U is really kind of how to run a coin shop. I think it's important. I think it's a lost art. I think there's going to be a major generational shift in the next 5 to 15 years. Most coin shop owners are very old, respectfully, and there's a generation that's going to take over. So we want to, not that I have the perfect system. I'm sure I make mistakes, but we got some good ideas on how to run a coin shop. And I'm inviting other people that have run coin shops for a while to teach these youngins, like, hey, it's not all about like upgrading and all this fancy fast stuff on Instagram. Plant seeds to build a foundation and own a quality shop, because the hobby's growing and they're going to need a lot of quality dealers to service the hobby. So we're all kind of in it together. You know what I mean?
Right on. Seth, yeah. I greatly appreciate your time. Anything you want to promote before I let you go?
Donate to Witter Coin University. Go to wittercoinfund.com. There you go. That's my promotion. Donate. Without the money, the kids don't come out. We're bringing out 40 kids this year. That's it.
Right on. Right.
After
this is over, if you could give me as much information as you can, and I'll put it down in the description of this video so people can just at a click and at a glance see more about you. And I greatly appreciate you being on here, showing us those really nice coins, man, high end stuff. I like how you said, you have some basic stuff you're going to show me, no real big deal, and then you wowed me right there.
I'm saving the good stuff for the next video. All right.
You got it. You're welcome anytime. Thank you so much.
Nice chatting with you. All right. Bye-bye now.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, hello, everybody. I seek to educate and entertain through my journey of collecting coins and stacking precious metals. I encourage you to subscribe and please stay with me on this journey. I am Spegtacular, the Silver Stacular.